Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January the 15th, 2020. And it's time for the pre-market pulse scan. Pre-market pulse scan is a special live that we do here at PulseWave Trading, where we look at the overnight markets and how it's set up for the morning trade. And we look at a little bit of information that may be affecting the markets. So that's what we do at PulseWave Trading. As we go on, the days go on, I'll get a tighter schedule. So everything will be announced beforehand. Right now, I'm just doing it. As far as the live trading room that follows this one, that I'm going to need a few minutes to get myself together, and then we can knock that out. All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, well, without any further ado, let's get into it. This week's economic calendar has been updated and is on. It's in our. It's in the Slack under the PulseWave alerts, so you can go ahead and peep that. I did put it into a PDF so that you can download it and review it at your leisure. All right, so here's what's going on. What you missed in the overnights for those of us that are here in the States on the East Coast. You guys who are overseas, you already probably know all this stuff, and or it could be past events for you. All right, so Bridgewater sees gold spiking 30% to a record high. All right, there is so much boiling conflict going on right now. When you look at the geopolitical strife, how many foreign entities really want to hold dollars, all right, all this is coming into play. Bank of America fourth quarter earnings beat Wall Street's profit forecast as sales and trading revenue jump. The bank and Titan posted lower revenue on net income in 3 of its 4 main divisions, while sales and trading drove growth in global markets. Apple is reportedly gearing up to defy Trump and the Department of Justice in court to avoid unlocking the Florida shooter's 2 iPhones. Trump is also pressuring Apple to help unlock the phones in general. All right, so let's see here. I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Maersk's chief warns EU antitrust policy benefits China and the U.S. Strict enforcement of competition rules in the European Union prevents the development of global champions necessary to compete with Chinese and U.S. companies, said the head of the world's biggest shipping company. JP Morgan initiates coverage of Saudi Aramco with overweight rating. JP Morgan initiated coverage of Saudi's Aramco shares with an overweight rating and a price target of 37 reals, which is about $9.86 per share, saying it sees scope for the company to increase its proposed $75 billion base dividend. The Navy cryptically said it has top secret UFO briefings that would cause exceptionally grave damage to U.S. national security if published. The Navy previously confirmed that it was treating objects that baffled pilots in Department of Defense videos as UFOs. That right there demands its own separate live broadcast, which we will probably do on our Thinking Outside the Box, which should be going out later today. We'll see. All right, Trump impeachment opening arguments likely Tuesday, said McConnell. The impeachment trial of President Donald Trump is likely to begin next Tuesday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said. Stocks are muted. U.S. stocks are flat, with futures underlying the Dow and S&P 500 indexes falling less than 0.2%. European stocks are also mostly unchanged. Germany's DAX and the Euro stocks 50 are down about 0.1%, while Britain's FTSE 100 is up about 0.2%. Asian indexes are broadly lower. The Shanghai Composite was down about 0.5%, Hong Kong's Hang Seng lost about 0.04%, and Japan's Nikkei declined about 0.5%. All right, on the data docket today, we have MBA mortgage applications and producer price indexes being highlighted. And on the earnings calendar today, Bank of America, United Health, Goldman Sachs, and BlackRock are highlights. All right, so excuse me, that's what we have going on in the overnight and what we have to look forward to today. All right, so let's get into the nuts and the bolts. I'm going to share my screen so that you can have a look-see at what I am looking at. All right, so let me prepare that. All right, and here we go. What you're going to be looking at is the live feed of the overnight markets, and we're going to go over a few things. I don't know if you can see this good enough, but we'll try anyway. Okay, so the first thing I want you to notice is the Dow futures. Dow futures currently is down 66 points at 28,868. We did hit a overnight low of 28,838 and a high of 28,935. S&P 500 is down 6 3/4 points at 3281.5. NASDAQ is down 10 points at 9052 and a half. The Russell is down 6.6 points at 1672.90. And of note, gold is up $10 at 1554.60. Silver is up 24 cents at $17.98.5. And crude oil is down about 12.5 cents at $58.10 a barrel. And Bitcoin futures holding steady up $130 at $8,895 now. That just jumped to 145. All right, so and the US dollar index is holding steady at 97.23, down about 14 ticks. All right, so that's where we are in the overnight markets. Not a whole lot going on. Let's take a look and see if we have any possible two-bar Charlie setups for the day. For those of you who are, excuse me, subscribers to the PulseWave report, you already know about the two-bar Charlie methodology and how it can show us possible bullish and bearish setups on the day. And sometimes we do have that. And it should be noted because you can pretty much set your watch by it. If we have these two-bar Charlie setups, chances are the day you already know how the day is going to go. All right, so far we do not have any bullish or bearish two-bar Charlie setups from the overnight market to speak of. We do have a couple that look close, but that's the one thing about the two-bar Charlie setup. It has to be what the parameters are. It can't be outside the parameters, not even a tick off. And in this case, we just don't have it. We had, like I said, some possible close ones, but we don't have any real ones to talk about. All right, so that's a good thing. So that means we don't have to set extra alerts or anything like that. We're just going to go directly off the reports, the overnight reports, the PulseWave price trigger reports, and trade accordingly. Excuse me. Working on a few other things. We're still going to do our live, even if there's no two-bar Charlie setups, we still do it because I know there's going to be like mad questions about the overnight reports and things of that nature, especially with the Bitcoin holding steady on the future side. That should bode well on the crypto side, which is good. I like this 89.95 high that we hit in the overnight in the Bitcoin. And we did have a low, though, of 86.35. The volatility is definitely still in effect. So we just you just have to be able to ride that bull. It's hard to know for those of you like myself here in the East Coast, United States. It can be difficult because, majority of the online brokers, they don't have the sophisticated setups like Thinkorswim does, where you can set stops and go to sleep at night and not worry about it. And you just don't have that ability. It's like, you can set a stop and go to bed, but you can't reverse. And that kind of sucks. You want to be able to auto reverse in a lot of your trades. So it is what it is, though. So with that being said, that's all we got for the pre-market PulseScan. Just keep your powder dry, be ready to get in there and bang it out today. I would say that the action so far is going to be on the bearish side. That's how the stock index futures are looking like they may want to pull back today. So keep your eyes open for your intraday price inflection points as indicated on the reports. And as far as the gold and silver, looks like the play is going to be on the long side for that. So remember to keep your eye open on those price inflection points. I don't have the report in front of me. It's possible that it could have already been triggered in the overnight. So just be sure to check your positions when you get up in the morning. If you've been filled on anything, be sure to check it. Make sure your stops are in place and all that good stuff. All right, we do have one quick question before we end. The question is, how closely does GBTC track BTC? That's an excellent question. Okay, as far as I know, first of all, full disclosure, I am long GBTC and have been for quite some time. GBTC is the only equity that I know that tracks Bitcoin pretty much tick for tick. Now, over the last year or so, it's been very interesting because the GBTC has gone through some metamorphosis. Not a lot of stock splits, reverse stock splits, just the price itself being devastated. At one point, the stock was over $3,000 a share back when Bitcoin was at $20,000 a share. And then when the Bitcoin crypto just collapsed, the price collapsed, so did the GBTC. So GBTC has shown the ability to be able to have extreme volatility and move thus and so. Another big thing about GBTC is that over the last couple of years, it now has the extended hours trading and pre-market trading, which is really good. So you can use that to your advantage. All right, let's see. Another question. You have any comment on Martin Armstrong's EMC showing tomorrow and Friday will start to show an uptick in the economy? Possible any events might happen? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with what he's talking about on that one. I would have to look into that. So I don't want to pretend like I know something I don't know. I don't know. I have to look into that. Matter of fact, if I get a chance before we go live in the trading room, I'll do a quick Google search and see what he's talking about. See if that has any bearing on anything. But I will say this though. If it has anything to do with anything esoteric, I'm going to say absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Esoteric has nothing to do with the markets, blood moons, sunspots. None of that stuff has anything to do with the markets. All right. It just doesn't. People claim that it does, horoscopes, you name it, using black magic, whatever. I've seen it. I've tested just about every type of trading style and system that you can think of. Moon cycles has nothing to do with it. Economic cycles, yes. The business, the business cycle is a real thing that comes with different categories, different businesses. There are business cycles, there are economic cycles. All that stuff is true. Yes. The economic cycle, though, separate from business cycle, is different. Economic cycle, to be quite honest with you, really comes from the setup of the central banks and the Federal Reserves. Before that, we didn't really have quote unquote economic cycles. We have business cycles, but not economic cycles. When you say economic, you're talking about now the Fed meddling in markets and economies and fixing prices and all that stuff. And that is where you get your quote unquote economic cycles. That's just government meddling. That's a nice, polite way to say government meddling. But business cycle is different. And that's just the nature of different businesses, things of that nature. All right. So with that being said, we're going to run because the opening bell is upon us. I will see the rest of you in the trading room. We'll be going over today. Today's topic is the 2-bar Charlie pre-market setups. We're going to revisit that. If you're not a member of PulseWaveTrading.com, I strongly urge you to go and set that up. You're going to need to, set up that free account so that you can get yourself established in the room and see what we have to offer. I have to caution you though, if you are not, a paying member, then you're not going to be able to see all of the charts and graphs and all of those things. You'll be able to hear me, but you won't be able to see anything. In addition to that, you may not be able to hear my answer to your questions. But hey, it's there. Just letting you know. All right. So next question. This will be our last one. Dex, what is your opinion about Bitcoin SV? It's up 320% in the last 7 days. Someone asked me about that Bitcoin SV, and I don't even know if that's on our list right now. I might have to consider getting it on there. The Bitcoin list is evolving, and I'm doing my darnest to build that out. So right now it's a slim list because we're trying to build everything out. I hope to have that done, Lord willing, as soon as possible, But as far as Bitcoin SV, I will tell you right now, it's following the trend cycle of Bitcoin Cash and your Bitcoin itself. So whatever Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin itself is doing chart-wise, then the Bitcoin SV is doing it in spades. So those charts are very similar, almost identical. Just the Bitcoin SV is just showing off a little bit more as far as momentum strength. So just wanted to put that there for you. So my opinion is that it's going to continue to move in lockstep with Bitcoin itself and the Bitcoin Cash. All right, so thanks everyone for attending this pre-market PulseScan. The whole idea of pre-market PulseScan is to get her done and wrapped up before the opening bell. Normally I'll start around 9 o'clock and then we'll be done like 9:25 so people can have time to go get their orders in and all that good stuff. All right, so I will see you guys in the trading room. I should be ready around 10-ish, 10:15. I'm going to say, between 10:15 and 10:30 is probably when we're going to be ready to go live. And there's a reason for that too, because 10:30 is the magic hour. The first hour of trading will be done. And now the big boys come into the market and start moving the market around. First hour of trading is for the little people. No disrespect. This is how it is. And then the trends start taking place after 10:30. All right. So see everybody in the PulseWaveTrading.com. All the links to all our social media and all of the goodies are below the video description. And I will see you in the trading room. And then for everybody else, I'll see y'all at the end of the day report. Peace out. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. For those who don't understand what that means, I take that directly from the Pirates of the Caribbean. You want to take what you can and give nothing back. Take what you can profit-wise from this market and don't give anything back to the market. In other words, don't turn your winning trades into losing trades. That's all that means, all right? Don't be greedy, all right? And with that said, peace.